Hi there, friends. I know usually you see my face doing the introduction, but I have come to realize that that part of the process is not my favorite. So if it is something that you would like to continue to see, then please comment below and I will keep doing that. And if it's something you could take or leave, then again, just let me know. We're gonna pop right into this card. And I am using the Blended Seasons bundle. Now, this is something that is only available till August 31st, or while supplies last. If it sells out tonight, it's gone. So I have got my hands on it, and I wanted to show you a fun little project. So Blended Seasons, I mean, you can see there's something for each and every season in here. The sentiments are gorgeous. So let's get to it. So first off, I've got a piece of watercolor paper that is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. And as you can see, I've got Brusho and an aqua painter out here. And I'm just gonna show you the sample that I made. So this was with clear embossing powder, and today we are gonna try it with black. Just wanna see the difference. So I have mounted this little wheat sheath, not sure which it is, on a C block, and I'm just gonna use my Versamark ink. And I can just kind of see where these are stamped. I'm going to alter them a bit from how I did it yesterday because I just kind of placed them very uniform. And while it doesn't look bad, I would like it to look a little more realistic. So if this is the first time that you're joining me for one of my videos, I always like to keep a dry brush around when I am embossing, just to get rid of any stray pieces, and a good flick of the paper also helps. So we'll just let that sit for a moment and cool off. Get out a spritzer. Now with Brusho, you can wet your paper first, or you can wet it after you've put the crystals down. And we are going to do a little bit of both. So I'm going to start by spreading it on here, and then giving a little spritz just outside of the screen. I don't want to get my whole surface wet. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we'll add a bit more. And adding it while it's already wet is what gives you these beautiful saturated dots. If it is more intense than you would like, just blot it up with a paper towel. And you can see that pretty much took everything off. So I'm gonna spritz it again. That was simply to show you what happens if you have never worked with Brusho or watched a Brusho video. There are a few ways you can work with Brusho. You could take your aqua painter and have it look uniform, but I love the speckles. Not for every project, but for something like this, I want the speckles. Now there really isn't a lot of difference if you let this air dry versus hitting it with your heat tool. and realized that if I just let it sit, the water would pool at the sides, which I can easily stop up. But I am layering this intentionally. If you were happy with it the way it looked the first time, by all means leave it. One of the fun and frustrating parts of brush show is that you will never achieve the same look twice. And there is a ton in here. I mean, this will last a long time. There is 15 grams in each of the 5 colors that we carry. And those colors, if you are new to this, is Prussian blue, this beautiful water background, gamboge, which is a beautiful orange, which we could add here, moss green, which has some beautiful green and purple in it, and then brilliant red. Now you can tell these are not Stampin' Up! Colors. This is not actually a Stampin' Up! Product. It is by Colorcraft, but it is a product that we carry. And if you live anywhere in Canada and do not yet have a demonstrator, I would be thrilled to be your demonstrator. You can send me an email at stampedaf@gmail.com or just comment on my website or any of my social feeds, really. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm everywhere. And always put your push pin back in. You don't want this stuff going everywhere. So I'm gonna leave that to sit. I just want to get rid of any pooling by the edges. It can be hard to know when to stop, as you can see. So the next thing we are going to do will be to emboss the thank. I've got you cut out already. Of course, it went under my camera mount. So there is our U. We'll have to let our paper dry for a few minutes. So while we're doing that, I did put an insert in here and did not stamp on it, but we are going to do that on this one. So using that same stamp, grab whatever color you would like. I am going to use Mango Melody. I'll just stamp it on there. It's a beautiful color. And just put a couple of them on there to dress it up. I'm actually happy with just that. So the other thing we shall do is the envelope. I recently learned that it is easier to do your envelopes and any kind of branding that you might be doing as you go. Don't wait until you have hundreds of them to do. Trust me. I was getting ready for a craft sale and had a whole lot of stamping and packaging and such to do. Not quite as much fun when it's on a larger scale. So as I mentioned earlier, the set is only available until August 31st. And it could sell out at any time, so please, if you're thinking about it, do not hesitate. I'm gonna stick with my C block here. We're actually only using thank, and I'm not gonna mask that off. I could easily put a piece of Post-it tape over that, but I'm not going to. We'll live on the edge. So that's not quite dry yet, but you can see I've got thank you in white. Now on this card, because it was so much white, it kind of went. I'm kind of thinking with this one that it might be better to have the U in black so that it stands out more. So I'm just gonna grab a scrap of basic black. That should be big enough. And I am using Amazing You. Now the stamp set was part of Celebration and it has since retired, but the word Thinlit stuck around. Hallelujah. So instead of wasting that piece of paper, because my plates are getting very well loved, they leave indentations. So I'm going to cut that piece. Seems kind of dark over here. So we've got you now in black, and I'm liking that much better. I felt like the white was a little too stark. So we will do the embossing in black again. I'm just gonna hit this with my heat. So like I said, we are only inking up the thank. So just kind of eyeball that and get it just to the end of the K. Got a tiny bit on that Y. And I did not pop this up on dimensionals, I just glued it down, so use your adhesive of choice. Mine is Tombow. And just pop that down. So I'd like to keep that part straight. Whoops, whoops. I'd also like to not have that wheat showing through there. And it's that simple. Now, because we did most of this on black, you could most definitely put it on a black piece of cardstock. I'm still happy with the orange. And with watercolor paper, there are a couple of things you can do to get it to lie flat. You can continue to hit it with your heat tool on the front and the back. You can, whoops, that's not straight at all. You can run it through your Big Shot with clean plates. If you have plates dedicated to just embossing, I would suggest that. Or you can put it under a heavy pile of books, which is what I am going to do once I get this straight. There we go. I'm actually kind of thinking now, I wouldn't mind having this matted in this orange and then put it on a black card. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Bear with me for just a moment. So I will just take this and trim it down. Okay. Oh, that's so much better. Now, the other thing we could do is tie some twine or linen thread, but I'm digging the simplicity of this. And it's nice to have something that has orange and black that isn't Halloween, isn't it? And then on the inside, just use your snail adhesive. I ran out, so don't look at that. And there you go. Now, if you didn't have your sentiment on the outside, or if you wanted something additional, then by all means put it on the inside, but that is it. Isn't that beautiful? in black or orange. It's beautiful. So I thank you for joining me, and I hope you will consider hitting that big subscribe button below, and we'll see you soon, friends. Bye.